One of the things that frustrates me to no end is how messed up and distorted our understanding of development is in the world, period. And in African countries specifically. Take the example of FDI, for instance, foreign direct investment. The idea that our countries think foreigners, people who are outside investors, are going to come into our countries to generate wealth, to create value, to establish new products, new industries, is ludicrous to say the least. I mean, think about what mining companies do in South Africa as an example, or think about financial services companies who come into our country and all they are thinking about is how to create value for their shareholders who are not South Africans, who are not based in South Africa. And all they try to do is to use smart ways of actually getting money out of our country instead of reinvesting it in our country. Now, the investment that we as a nation put to actually attract these investors, to give up, a tax revenue because we want to incentivize these businesses coming into our nations. And yet, if you were to take the same amount of effort and investment and actually invest it in people, in other words, invest it in solutions that people are creating at the local level, I can't tell you the kind of benefit we would start to see. And so one of my things is, can we start talking about these distortions that we see in the system and start questioning ourselves about what is the logic behind some of the assumptions we make about what makes development. I mean, one of the things that I love to hear, for instance, is when real economists are talking about how wasteful the financial services sector is. In the South African situation, our manufacturing sector, the sector that's supposed to be the engine for growth and development and industrialization in South Africa, has been shrinking year on year for the last 5 to 6 years. That's what statistics are telling us at the moment. So the manufacturing sector is shrinking, right? The financial services sector has been actually increasing by measure of GDP for the last few years, year on year as well. And so people talk about the fact that, well, we've got growth in the financial sector, but growth in the financial sector means zero because the financial sector doesn't create new industry. The financial sector doesn't produce new services. In fact, the only reason why the financial sector grows is because they make money, out of interest and all sorts of other charges, as it were. And on top of that, we know that the rent-seeking behavior of the financial services sector ensures that nothing goes back into the economy. And there might be economists that disagree with me about this, but you can't peg the growth of your economy on sectors like the financial services sector because they are not value-creating sectors. They are extractive sectors. They are part of the stifling out resources out of an economy as opposed to bringing resources into an economy. The only way that the financial services sector, as far as I understand, can create value is in these new investment instruments right now, where angel investors are actually finding ways of investing in innovation, investing in new technologies, investing in real industry. And that is the only way that the financial services sector is useful to any economy. This is Perspectives from Namhlam Nikki, your resident provocateur at African Monitor. Blessings.